This is Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on the zone. Coming at me from Philly, WBC Queen, Skye Nicolson. Good to see you.
Hello, hello. I'm here from smoking hot Philly. It is so hot here. Oh,
That's
sweating.
unfair. The state of the weather here, that's unfair.
Oh, you know what? I was so looking forward to coming out to the hot weather, but it actually, I might actually go as far as to say as it's too hot.
Really? But you're Australian.
I know,
I didn't think you've
but
done too hot.
I've been living in England for 2.5 years now, and I think I'm actually becoming a little bit of a wimp with the hot weather.
It must be a bit hectic for you because I saw you on Thursday. I believe you flew Friday and fight night's 4 nights away. So is life just a bit mad at the moment?
I flew Saturday,
Right.
um, which a week going to a time zone that's 5 hours difference is usually perfect, but we had the most stressful endeavors on Saturday. Like, I don't know if you saw the Instagram reel I posted, but it was just like it was mayhem. So I ended up getting in really late Saturday night instead of like midday Saturday. And the rest of my team ended up coming in the next day. So it was a little bit of dilemmas there, but all good. I got straight into the time zone. I'm a bit of a pro with adjusting to time zones and skipping the jet lag. So I've had 8 or 9 hours sleep every night since I got here, and just like straight into it, trying to acclimatize to the weather.
Do you know what? All of this trouble is just new lines and paragraphs for the autobiography when you retire.
Yeah,
It all makes for a
we
good
did. We
story.
I know we tried to keep our spirits as high as we could on Saturday. It just felt like the whole world was against us, but we did keep saying the same thing. It's just another chapter in the book that we write one day. So, but it was a lot. Honestly, you couldn't write the bad luck we had.
Do you know what is cool though? You're rocking up some serious venues and cities. I was thinking about this. So off the top of my head, San Diego, New York, Las Vegas, Dublin, either Guadalajara or Tijuana.
Tijuana,
You're racking up some serious. That's one way to do the journey.
Brisbane, Brisbane, Australia as well. I've been everywhere. I've actually been everywhere except London, which is where I've been living since I turned pro.
You've not flown
Um,
London yet.
I haven't had a London show yet, so I feel like that's the one that needs to happen. But yeah, no, I'm very, very lucky, very blessed, fighting all around the world. I don't think I'll ever feel like an away fighter anywhere because it's just the norm for me, which I think is quite a good place to be. Um, yeah, Philadelphia is really cool. Obviously a city I hadn't really ever thought about going to, but um, yeah, I mean, for Rocky fans and stuff, it's very exciting to be here. Eddie Lamb, my coach, big Rocky fan, so he's over the moon and excited to be here, going to all the Rocky spots. But yeah, no, it's really cool. I'm very blessed.
I was gonna say, I bet Matchroom finished the fight day 5K on the Rocky steps, but obviously you'll probably be just chilling out. So
They are. I believe that is the plan. I think they're doing the Boxers Trail run and finishing at the Rocky Steps. So I'm actually kind of bummed I'll be missing that one because I think that would be a really cool fight day 5K. And I'm sure most of my team will be down there. But yeah, we'll definitely go and check that out through the week this week anyway.
yeah, well, it'll be better than a Birmingham 5K that I done recently. I've got to ask you something. I mentioned San Diego, so I was there for the debut in San Diego. How different is the Skye Nicholson of, was it March 2022 to the one that sits in front of me now?
I mean, I think that fight week, I've kind of talked about this a little bit, but I just feel like I went into the pro game like so naive. I just thought I've had 150 amateur fights. I've been boxing since I was 12, like, and I just like I was stuck in my ways, stuck in my habits, a very amateur style. And I wasn't overly open to, I guess, adjusting or changing things, um, which started to kind of come around 12 months ago, um, when I decided I wasn't going to go back and do the Olympics and or go back amateur anymore anyway. I think that was when I finally like went all in on my pro career and adjusting my style, changing what we're doing. I mean, I'm always going to be good at what I'm good at, and I'm always going to do what I'm good at. But just to have, I guess that option there to do other stuff as well. And I feel like that's been the most exciting part of my last couple of camps, is just seeing those changes, I guess, transfer from drills on the pads and bags to drills in sparring to bringing it in the fights. And I feel like we are kind of slowly showing a little bit more each fight, but each camp I feel like I just go leaps and bounds higher, and it's just about getting that transfer now from the gym to the performances so that I can kind of show everyone else what I'm actually capable of and what I can do. And I feel like I'm performing in the gym like a really established professional fighter now, and that's what I want to show in the ring.
You are a really established professional fighter, and it's shown by what is over your left shoulder. How much does that mean to you? Because I speak to some fighters and they say like they get the belt and it kind of might just sit there under the bed or something. How
Yeah.
much does that belt mean to you though? Like, is there a feeling when you look at it? Do you ever just sit there and just stare at it? Like,
I mean, for me, like, obviously, it's not the ceiling for me. So while it's of course very important to me, very precious to me, and one of my highest achievements ever, of course, I know there's still so much more to do and so much more to capture. And it motivates me though. It motivates me seeing it every day. But I know how far I've still got to go. So there's definitely been no kind of, oh, I did it now. It's like,
like
nah,
no
I don't
let,
know. I've just,
there's been no let up.
no. If anything, it's been more foot on the gas. So, yeah, while it is obviously something I'm very proud of, I know there's so much more to come.
Yeah, I will say one thing before we talk about Philly. I actually have a bone to pick with you. Your YouTube channel, have we got some competition on the horizon?
Yeah, you better watch out, you boys. No, it's my little baby. It's my little project. I want to have other little things on the side, like something away from boxing as well, and away from the million miles an hour kind of life that I live. And I want to have an outlet where people can know me, and not just me as a fighter or me as an athlete, but just me as a person. I feel like Instagram can be such a highlight reel as well. And that's why I went with unfiltered. Like, I wanted to show everything, um, all the ugly stuff as well. So that's kind of like where I'm going with that. But it's just my little baby project in its infancy. Definitely no competition for the Stomping Ground right now, but better watch out. I'll be on your tail. I'm competitive.
I was gonna say when you start closing in on our subscriber count, then we might have some trouble. That's all I will say.
Thanks for
Um,
now.
right, this Saturday, Diana Vargas, Puerto Rican, big knockout percentage, but yet to fight at elite level. So
Mhm.
I guess a few questions for fans watching. What should we expect, and what are you expecting as well?
Um, I mean, she hasn't fought at top level, but I feel like there's not a whole lot out there. Do you know what I mean? So I hadn't really fought at top level until I boxed probably my last two fights, Wild Heart and Mahfood. You kind of have to just take those moments and those opportunities when they're brought to you, and that's what's happened with Vargas here. She was in the top 20 in BoxRec, a very good record, a high KO ratio, and she has beat and stopped winning records. So we've had a look. We've had a look at her. We've studied her. She actually boxed quite recently, and we were able to watch that whole fight. She's definitely dangerous. She's a power puncher. She comes out very aggressive. I think she's most dangerous in the opening probably 4 rounds, and then because she's putting everything into every single shot, I feel like she does wear herself out a little bit in the second half of the fight, which is where we'll be looking to kind of put the foot on the gas as well. But she does come out dangerous at the start of every round, and the whole round for the first few rounds. So we have a game plan in place. We know what we've got in front of me, and for me, it's all about having a really good performance and showing the world other bits and pieces of what I'm doing as well. And yeah, I'm quite excited for that. I think a lot of people think, oh, Skye has no inside game. She can't fight on the inside. I've just never had to be there, and I've not had to show anyone that. So there's bits and pieces that I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to show you, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it impressively. And yeah, I feel like I owe it to myself to kind of take this opportunity, being on the big stage, being in these filled arenas, and putting on a show and showing the hard work that I have actually put in. Even if it could be a fight that I make very comfortable and easy for myself again, as I tend to do.
Yeah. There's one question that I want to ask you that a lot of boxers would probably, we'll put it this way. I want to know if, I mentioned a knockout percentage, not just that, but is there anything that strikes fear into you as a fighter? Because I reckon if you ask a lot of boxers, they would probably say no, and you can tell me where to stick it with this question. But human, obviously, I'm not a fighter, so I'd never know the mindset. But is there anything that would ever strike fear into you, like even previous opponents? Have you ever looked and felt a bit of nerves or fear at all?
For me, honestly, I feel like mine's almost like ego a little bit. I feel like I like pride myself on like never getting hit or on being untouchable, basically. So for me, it's like I don't put myself in any kind of vulnerable situation. It's not even like the fear of being hit. It's more like that, I guess, image of being very hard to hit. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but like I've been hit clean. Like I know I've got a good chin. I know I can take a good shot. I'm actually like surprisingly tough. Like if obviously you don't know me or you don't see me in the gym, you just look at me and you think, oh, she's just a little pillow fists, as I get called a lot, but she's just a little like a little pretty boxer or whatever, and she's gonna get found out, and she's this and she's that. Bring it on. Let's go.
So you basically
You'll
like,
see.
you like the Floyd Mayweather type mold of you want to be known as someone that is hard to hit.
Exactly. Yeah, and like I love
It
like
comes with a little bit of
I
sparkle
guess
when you're
like
someone who people can't hit.
yeah. And it's like I don't know, I just feel like because I'm like known for it, I I can win fights so convincingly without having to put myself in any position to even get hit. It's just like I don't know. I Everyone has their opinions. Like some people are always saying to me, why would you put yourself in a position where you like where you could get hit or you could potentially get hurt or this or that when you can do it so easily without it? And then there's obviously the other like style of fans and fans that like certain styles saying, yeah, but it's the entertainment industry, you're boring, you need to do more, we want to see you get hit. And it's like trying to cater to everyone, if that makes sense.
Surely you just cater for
But
yourself.
yeah, but for me, I just pride myself so much on like being so hard to hit and being so evasive that I guess sometimes I might not take opportunities just because I don't have to. So it's definitely not a fear of being hit or a fear of like a style of opponent or anything like that because I've seen it all. I've done it all. I've been hit by men. I've been hit by strong women. Um, yeah, I think it's more like a almost like an ego thing. I don't know. Got a bit of a chip on my shoulder. I don't want like I don't know.
What
I'd feel embarrassed if I got hit clean. How embarrassed like how weird is that? Like
what you're telling me is that
professional
you
fighter,
don't
you're
want
gonna get hit. It's all right.
what you're telling me you don't want Ed Mulholland ringside capturing a split second where there's a punch landing
Exactly.
and your face is at some like really moody angle.
And it's happened.
Because at the moment you
It's
can't
happened, and
do
I
it.
really don't like. You know, that's the photo that's gonna get posted everywhere. So I'm just like, nah, that's not a bit of me.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I guess there will be a few fighters, perhaps not at the weekend because I guess you're fighting a Puerto Rican, potentially Spanish speaking. I don't know. But I guess there will be fighters who will look at you and say, why don't you plant your feet? Why don't you do this? Because they want you to do that because it works for them.
Exactly.
Does that kind of drag
Exactly.
you
I
in?
feel like I get that a little bit. I get these like kind of what do you call them? sly comments sometimes from Amanda Serrano's posts. And she like posts things like, oh, when I come to fight, I come to stand in the middle and fight and give the fans a fight and this and that. It's like, because that's all you can do. And you only want to fight people that are going to stand in front of you and do that with you. That's why you won't fight me. But, whatever. I'm bored of talking about her anyway. I've
Oh,
actually got a queue of people that want to fight me now, which is actually exciting.
I'm disappointed you said you're bored of talking about her because she might have been on the agenda in a couple of questions' time.
You know what? The only person that knows if that's on the agenda is her because, like, how many times can I say I want the fight?
Have you resigned yourself to like a small percentage where you might have to accept that the fight won't happen? Because I know you want it to happen because it's a big fight. She's a big name.
Yeah.
Have you resigned yourself to a small percent where it might not happen?
I have. I feel like there's more chance of it not happening than happening. And it sucks. And I just feel like she's right at the end of her career and she doesn't want to give me the opportunity to beat her. Like, she doesn't want me to be the one. I feel like it's actually getting personal. I'm not even joking. But you know what? I am in a really good position right now. I am having people call me out now. So I think like we're in a really exciting era where I'm going to really like stamp my legacy, stamp my name on this division. And whatever happens with Serrano. But like obviously that's the fight we want while she's got the belt. If she's gonna retire, then we'll start collecting belts in other ways. So there'll be plenty of options opening up right now. I've got girls hot on my tail. They think they're the smoke, so let's see. Business to take care of this Saturday. Diana Vargas is my only concern right now, and then I'll be chatting to a few of the girls that have got my names on their lips.
I love it. Post fight, there's going to be some serious smoke dealt out. I mentioned the WBC over your shoulder. So I think Amanda's fighting
Yes.
on the Jake Paul Mike Perry card, and then the Katie Taylor rematch is on the rescheduled Jake Paul Mike Tyson card. In a
Yes.
weird roundabout way, your career
Hmm.
has been a small percent affected by Mike Tyson.
Yes and no.
That is pretty cool.
It is cool, but at the same time, I don't think Serrano is going to fight me. That's the honest truth. Um,
What about the belts then? Because you got the WBA, IBF, WBO. She's not fighting obviously at feather. So what's the belt
no.
situation? Because you want the other
So
three.
really, she should be getting stripped. She didn't fight Nina Menka, who's number one across the board in the other bodies. She was meant to fight her in February, I think, when she got something in her eye or whatever happened. Um, she's got this fight against some random girl that no one's ever heard of now next week. 10 2-minute rounds. It's like, make it make sense. But if I was Nina Menka and I was her mandatory across the board in all the other belts, surely you would be pushing for her to get stripped. She's not defended the belt. She's not fought at featherweight since the Danilo Ramos fight in when was it? October, maybe last year. So it's like, why isn't anyone putting any pressure on her to let go of the belts? So it's quite frustrating because they're just being held hostage right now. She's boxing up at super lightweight. It's not like she's even at super feather or lightweight. She's at super lightweight. Like, uh, it's annoying. It's annoying. But I can only control what I can control and just keep winning. And that's my plan for right now.
Look, we'll ignore that and we'll lift the mood up a little bit. Um, what does the week consist of for you from here on in? Because obviously, I guess you don't want to be too, you almost don't want to use up too much energy by thinking about the fight and when you're training that little bit too hard. So, like, what's the rest of the week? But obviously, you can't completely chill. So, like, how does it all?
Yeah, it's a pretty typical fight week. I'm just training, chilling, hanging out with my team the last couple of days. Things get a little bit more serious tomorrow. We have like media day, and a few like activation bits to do. Um, and then Thursday presser, Friday weigh-in, Saturday showtime.
What's the post
Monday off to
game?
Miami for a holiday.
Are you going to Miami?
I am. I can't wait. I've never been. I'm so excited.
Oh, Miami is.
Can't wait to just chill and have a bit of downtime.
I've got to know what the post-fight meal is, though. I love asking fighters this.
Okay, so it's always like pizza or Mackey's or something gross, but this time I think we're going to go for the Philly cheesesteaks.
Oh, so you go gross because some people still like to keep it clean, but you go gross. I like
No,
it.
no, I'm done with eating clean. Yeah.
Yeah, I rate that.
Uh,
Yeah, Mackey's pizza
yeah.
cheesesteak. Yeah, I like that.
We normally have like a big Mackey's party or a big pizza party in the lobby, the hotel lobby when we get back from the show. But I think being in Philadelphia, everyone's been going on about the chili feet, the Philly cheesesteak. So I think that's on the cards for Saturday night.
It would be rude if you didn't, to be fair. It would be rude.
I agree.
I've got to ask you about one thing, actually. This slipped my mind. You and Raven Chapman,
Yes.
could we see the first, would it be the first ever Riyadh season women's world title fight? I mean, Queensberry and Matchroom are
Yeah.
obviously best friends now. So is that something that makes sense for beyond? Maybe September 21st, or is that too soon? That is a bit too soon, isn't it? Or is it?
Um, so I got told that Raven was going to be my mandatory, or that she was my mandatory, or that she was going to be the mandatory for the winner of me versus Mahfood. And then obviously Tiara Brown fought last week or the week before, and she's been told she's my mandatory. So I don't actually know what's going on there. I don't know if you can have two mandatories. I feel like someone's being told the
Could
wrong
you not do a
thing.
misfit style
Um,
2v1? Do a 2v1 misfit style.
yeah. For me, it's like line them up. I love both of those fights anyway. Which order they come in, I'm not sure, but I believe they will most likely be my next two fights. Um, which is exciting. I'm excited. I'm glad to have like quality opponents and mandatories. It's exciting. I feel like this is like the position I've been wanting to be in. Instead of like trying to convince people to fight me, they actually chasing the fight. So I think me versus Raven on a Riyadh season card would make a lot of sense. And I think it would be massive. It would be a huge movement for um women's rights and women's boxing, especially with all the women's rights stuff that's happening in Saudi Arabia as well. Um, I think that fight definitely makes sense. And the Tiara Brown fight, I love that fight. I can't wait. But like I can sit here and talk about all the fights that I want to have, but the fight that's in front of me right now is Diana Vargas on Saturday night, July 13th. And that's getting all my energy and that's getting all my focus. And everyone else is going to get that smoke as soon as I'm done with her.
Spoken like a true champ. Is there a little bit of you that wants to be a diva because people have been a diva to you? So when you were chasing fights, people were being a little bit awkward. Now they're chasing you. Is there a little bit of you that wants to just be like, I'll speak to you in a little bit. Let me just chill for a sec.
I mean, yes and no. I don't want to be too much of a diva because I actually love that I've got people chasing the fight. I want that. I've been asking for that, so I'm not going to then turn around and be like, "Oh no, not you." But for me, like, I actually find it quite hilarious that if I don't bite back or give them attention, they think it's because I'm scared of them or that I don't want the fight, which I just find so entertaining. And I just find it so funny because there's levels to this. And you go fuck around, find out. But seriously, like, um, I'm really happy that I'm in this position now where people are actually chasing a fight with me. Like I'm the name that people want to fight now, and that's a position I've wanted to be in. So I'm grateful to be here, and I'm glad that there's girls chasing this fight. And as soon as I'm done with Vargas Saturday night, we'll start chatting about those fights in more detail. But I think I'm gonna be in some great fights before this year's out.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be so exciting the next year or so. I've got two questions just before I let you go. Not that I've kept you hostage for this interview, but the most important question, how's Tito?
Yes.
How's Tito?
Oh, I miss him so much already. I always tell everyone like I have to get home and stuff. Like my dog's got serious separation anxiety. I have
You have it. Yeah, I
separation
knew you was
anxiety.
going to
It's
say
me.
that. Yeah.
I blame it on Tito, but really he couldn't care less if I'm home or not. But no, he's good. He's with Jenny, um, Eddie Lamb, my coach. His wife, she's got Tito, and he's best friends with their pug Milo, so he's happy. He's settled at home with them. But no, I miss him so much. Actually going home for like 3 or 4 days after Miami just to see him before I go on holiday again.
Well, his mum can turn up next time 11-0. The main question now, for those who are going to be up,
Mhm.
and it's a wicked night, and I know everyone's so excited to see Boots for the first time under the Matchroom banner. What should we expect from the WBC champ?
I think for this fight, you can expect a new and improved version. Um, Someone who still prides themselves on being quite untouchable and hard to hit, but can also fight in the pocket, fight inside, has good inside game. Um, and don't be surprised. I mean, you probably will be because it doesn't happen often, if ever. Don't be surprised if the fight doesn't go the distance. I feel very confident about this one. And while she's dangerous early, I believe the middle to late rounds you're going to see a new and improved, quite, what's the word? A quite, not aggressive, but spiteful.
I like it.
Calculated, but spiteful.